Hello, you're listening to Real Religion. This is Joseph Birch. I'm with returning guests James Billingsley and David Janaro, doing the topic episode, and the topic is the devil and demons. So we're going to go ahead and get started if you're both ready. I think I've asked you this before in your general interview, but I want to go ahead and let you respond to this again. Do you believe in the devil, and if so, who or what do you think the devil is? James, if you would respond first.
I do believe in the devil. I'm not. For me, my personal belief is, can he be a physical manifestation of a being? Yes. Can he be a spiritual manifestation of a being? I believe yes. I believe that it is a presence that can be felt, and in some cases, a physical manifestation of something that couldn't be felt.
All right. David, anything to add?
Well, I would agree that I also would think the devil is a real being. He's a personal being, so he has, I guess, plans, activities, things he wants to do, and is someone who is at work in the world around us. And I would agree with everything James said.
All right. So the idea that the devil would be a real being at work in the world is pretty alarming. To a lot of people, it's pretty unbelievable. What would you say to people who believe in a God but not an opposing being? David?
It does sound pretty unbelievable. I would agree. I would start thinking through any of this issue with how do we know what is and isn't true. I don't have any personal experience with the devil, so I can't know from. I mean, as far as I know, I think the way the devil works isn't at least usually obvious and right out in the open. So I don't have any personal experience I could look back at and say, oh, that's the devil. But for me, truth in a topic like that would be guided by Scripture, that God has revealed certain things about who the devil is and what he does in Scripture. So that's a presupposition I bring, that the Bible would speak truthfully on that issue, and therefore that would be what would inform my thinking about the devil, and would teach that he's a real being. So does he seem kind of unbelievable to our culture? Sure, because I think if there is such a being as the devil, and I believe there is, then he would want it that way. I think that's kind of the way he would operate. But if you're following the Bible, then you would believe he is real, regardless of how it might just seem based on our personal experience.
Okay. James, can you believe in God and not the devil?
You can believe in anything that you want, but if you believe in God and you believe in your source material being whatever version of the Bible, I've yet to see a translation of the Bible that completely omits the devil. And even other religions that believe in a monotheistic God, they also believe in an antithetical physical force that fights it. So even outside of that, there's this idea that there's good and evil. If you believe in your source material, it's really hard for you to refute and say, no, God, I believe you on 9 out of 10 things, but this 10th thing that has to do with the devil, nope, don't believe you on it.
All right. We have a little time left in this first section, so I just want to open the floor to you gentlemen if you have anything else to say to me or to each other about the topic here.
I think one of the things to bring up now is that the devil is starting to become a sympathetic force in non-traditional a non-traditional theater. In regards to, there's now television shows that paint Lucifer in the light of he's a dejected and he's had a hard time of it, and now he's decided to leave hell, and he's evidently living as a bartender. Haven't seen the show, but I read a synopsis about it. That's interesting to me, that people who are non-religious, they still they still sympathize with that character and they bring them out. And there's evidently a television show has high ratings, but we'll see.
Yeah. That makes me think of. I mean, there's a long history of sort of popular culture views of the devil that wouldn't agree with biblical versions. So one of the most common is that the devil is sort of the ruler over hell, which is never presented in the Bible. He will be thrown there into hell to be punished. In fact, hell was created to punish Satan and his demons. The cartoonish, tail and horns and all that is, also kind of has a history behind how it formed. But, I think the popular conception is more that he's sort of a cartoonish figure that, almost comical, whereas clearly the Bible would present him as a very dangerous force to take seriously. Then you've got your other whole horror movie genre that might take him as a very scary force, but maybe not in the way that the Bible would present him, as far as just I don't know, just the spectacular things of knives flying across the room and so forth isn't really the kind of danger that is primarily what the Bible would say we should be concerned about with the devil.
Sure, and I want to talk a little bit more about Hollywood and TV and regard to this later. One more question that I should have asked you. We've said the devil and Satan and Lucifer. In the Bible, they're referenced to figures Satan, Lucifer, the devil, the evil one, demons. Some people would say that's all the same figure. Others would say these are different individuals. Where do you stand on that, James?
I believe that ultimately there's the one physical manifestation of evil. Just like the books of the Bible, not all of them are written by the same person. There's different people with different backgrounds. They speak different languages. They've had different lives. They've had different levels of education. What they call something is the same thing you might refer to as when you see a car riding down the street. If you're not into cars, you might just say, hey, that's a car. If you are into cars, you might say, hey, that's a Ford Mustang GT that has leather interior seats and has this amount of horsepower. Right. You know more about it because you've studied it or you've been exposed to it or it's been presented to you in a different light other than, hey, this is the evil one. A person who hadn't paid attention to the story of the serpent, when they hear someone refer to the devil as the great serpent, they might not know or even be able to draw a correlation to that. So to them, the devil isn't the great serpent, it's the devil. It's the pitchfork and red pointy horns on the head, because that's what they've been taught. So when it comes to the Bible is just it is a it's a collection of these books that were put together that were written by different people, divinely inspired, if you will. But even still, that's why you have different definitions for a lot of things.
Okay. David?
Satan, Lucifer, the dragon, the great serpent, the evil one, depending on the context, would all be referring to the person Satan. The demons I would separate as being other angels that are sort of under him. But other than that, yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you both for your time. Thank you for being here. We're going to take just a little break, and then we'll conclude part one, and we'll come back and do the next part.